The Owl House is one of my all-time favorite shows. Within this show is the character Hunter, who is one of my all-time favorite characters. I like Hunter because I relate to him a lot emotionally, which is why I wanted to do this character analysis. Hunter has PTSD, acquired neurodivergence, anxiety, panic attacks, meltdowns, depression, insomnia, and is pretty autism coded. I think all these things because of a variety of reasons. He's bad at reading people, social cues, and their intentions. He has flashbacks and is often nervous and shaky. He has panic attacks and can go nonverbal or get angry when freaked out or stressed. He is quite inappropriately blunt and bad with people his age and their social cues. He often feels helpless. He shows autistic traits of masking and has confidence whenever he is wearing his literal Golden Guard mask. Hunter isolates himself when upset and thinks he's not worth saving. He trauma bonds with Luz, the main character, but is actually close friends and emotionally supported by Flapjack before Luz becomes a close friend and almost family to Hunter. He is somewhat impulsive, making him kinda ADHD coded, and he has so much bad self-talk. He's socially awkward, and due to his brainwashed and sheltered upbringing, he needs help from his palisman and friends to interact with others in the world around him. Unimportant but fun little side note, I think Hunter is trans-coded. Being a Grim Walker is somewhat of a trans allegory, and he has a speech to himself in the mirror in season 3 where he says, "I like who I am right now," and that also feels very trans-coded. Abstract. In this analysis of the Disney Channel TV show The Owl House, a side character introduced in season 2, Hunter, and his PTSD are the primary consideration. Hunter has PTSD because he is a child soldier and often has panic attacks and flashbacks due to his time with his abuser and uncle, Emperor Bellos, also known as Philip Whittlebane. He struggles with various triggers after a variety of traumatic events. I chose to analyze this particular show because I've seen it before and really enjoy it. I've always been very impressed with how it portrays neurodivergence, grief, trauma, and loss, including Hunter's PTSD in a digestible and kid-friendly story. Hunter is a fascinating character with arguably the best character arc and progression in the show, so I wanted to take this opportunity to analyze him. Introduction. Hunter is a child soldier known as the Golden Guard in the hit Disney Channel cartoon The Owl House. He lived with Camila Noceda and his friends in the human realm in Gravesfield, Connecticut early in season 3. He now lives in the demon realm with his girlfriend, Willow. Hunter often has panic attacks and flashbacks due to his time with his uncle, Emperor Bellos. He struggles with being easily startled, irritability, outbursts, paranoia, flashbacks, and various triggers. Veterans are more likely to have PTSD than civilians, and veterans who deployed to a war zone are also more likely to have PTSD than those who did not deploy. This is according to the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. Signs and symptoms. Hunter has no friends in his formative years or at all until he met Luz and her friends when he was around 16. He was put to work as a child soldier and physically, emotionally, and mentally abused by his supposed caretaker, Emperor Bellos. He is also a Grim Walker, which is a clone of someone who has already died but with new memories. And his best friend and palisman, which is a witch familiar staff-type creature, was killed. He was lied to about who he is and what was right his whole life, making him believe that his life itself was a lie. He thinks he's replaceable, and he was even possessed by Bellos when he killed Flapjack. As I have previously stated, Hunter very clearly has PTSD. However, in case you had any doubt, here are some descriptions that fit Hunter, paraphrased from the DSM-5. He has reoccurrent, involuntary, intrusive, distressing memories of traumatic events and dissociative reactions, also known as flashbacks, involving Bellos. Hunter also has a great severity of trauma from life threats, personal injury, and interpersonal violence, particularly at the hands of Bellos, as well as witnessing atrocities such as Bellos sucking the life out of multiple palismen, including Flapjack, and faces adverse challenges in cognition and mood, including behaviors such as hypervigilance, irritable behavior, and angry outbursts, which are typically expressed as verbal aggression toward his friends, as shown in Season 3, Episode 2. Intense psychological distress often occurs when he is exposed to triggering events that resemble one of the many traumatic events he has experienced. This occurs when Hunter sees himself in the mirror with long hair, similar to his uncle's, when he sees a cardinal back on the boiling aisles and thinks of his lost palisman. Luckily, individuals such as Hunter who experience PTSD into older adulthood may express fewer symptoms of hyperarousal, avoidance, and negative cognitions and mood than younger adults with PTSD, according to the DSM-5. This is shown when Hunter gets a happy ending with his girlfriend Willow and his new palisman Waffles in the time skip at the end of the series finale. Symptoms of PTSD fall into 4 major categories. They are intrusion, avoidance, alterations in cognition, and alterations in arousal and reactivity. First of all is intrusion. Hunter has intrusive thoughts or flashbacks that are so vivid he feels like he's reliving the traumatic experience with Bellows, or feeling how he looked like Bellows when his hair grew out, which made him proceed to fall over in fear. Second is avoidance. Avoiding reminders of the traumatic events is definitely something Hunter does, by avoiding talking or thinking about his time with Bellows, or when Bellows killed Flapjack. These are all to avoid things that trigger distressing memories. He tries to resist talking about Flapjack's death, or the trauma Bellows caused him, unless he has an angry outburst. Third is changes in cognition and mood. Hunter still believes that since he helped Bellows, he is evil, or a Grim Walker, he is a mindless clone, or because he does not have magic, he's half a witch. The final primary symptom is alterations in arousal and reactivity. Hunter's symptoms include irritability and angry outbursts, especially when he finds out Bellows is still alive in Season 3. Hunter behaves recklessly by trying to protect his friends in any way, shape, or form after chasing Bellows, even though it puts him in direct danger. He is paranoid and overly watchful because he thinks Bellows, or his even more powerful foe, the Collector, could pop up anywhere. Sleeping is not a strong suit of Hunter's either, because he is used to staying up late to guard and has dark circles under his eyes. Treatment options. So, it's been established that Hunter has severe PTSD, but what could be some good treatment options for him? The first thought that comes to mind might be medication and cognitive behavioral and or processing therapy. However, who knows if there is such medication or therapy that is available on the boiling aisles, which is where most of the story takes place, and if it would even work on a Grimwalker. Group therapy would be good for the entire Hex Squad, but especially Hunter. He's the only one who has had his best friend killed right in front of him, been treated as a worthless child soldier, and been manipulated by an evil parental figure the majority of his life. Hunter is not receiving treatment, but he does have a sound support system of friends and some adults who care for him. I think he would benefit from talking to a therapist. Nevertheless, I believe his support system, dialectical behavioral skills such as self-soothing with breathing techniques that Gus taught him, and distraction with things he enjoys like carving new palisman with Dell. Dell. Conclusion. PTSD can be helped with treatment, but cannot be cured. Hunter will always have PTSD, even if he is not officially diagnosed or knows the word for it. But, as shown in the finale, he's happy and growing and fulfilled. Hunter has, or at least had, a lot of flashbacks and panic attacks. However, it has gradually gotten better with the help of his friends Willow, Gus, and Luz, as well as people he is less intimate with, such as Ida, King, Camila, Darius, Eberwolf, and Dell. Overall, Hunter's had considerable challenges in his life. However, with therapy, coping skills, a good support group, and care, he will continue to thrive and blossom into a happy young man who smiles more often than the grumpy teenage boy with the golden mask introduced in the Owl House Season 2. Bye.